This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore. Donald Trump has made a habit of appointing people to positions to which they have no business being appointed. Donald Trump has a habit of giving positions of power to his children, elevating moron do-nothings to positions of power, of great influence, not just over him, policy influence, advice influence, but also over how our government runs. And it's more apparent now than it ever has been in the midst of a pandemic. Jared Kushner, his son-in-law, zero experience in government, zero experience in crisis management, has been given a large role in the government's response to the coronavirus. He went on Fox News yesterday and was proclaiming what a wonderful success story Donald Trump's response to the coronavirus has been. Here's a very, very brief clip of him opening his stupid robot mouth and inserting his foot deeply, deeply into it.
And again, we're on the other side of the medical aspect of this, and I think that we've achieved all the different milestones that are needed. So the government, federal government, rose to the challenge, and this is a great success story. And I think that that's really, what needs to be told. And in terms of the national strategy that you mentioned with Governor Newsom, look, we've been very busy doing. We released the strategy document earlier this week. It was an 8-step plan, and 7 of those steps have been completed. So you can accelerate to the levels that needed to be done. A lot of the work is the upfront work. That's all been completed. And again, we've done more tests than any other country in the world. So we've got to be doing a lot of things right.
What we're witnessing here is a moving of the goalposts, unlike really anything we've ever seen before. Remember on February 26th when Donald Trump said that we only have 15 cases of the coronavirus. 15 cases. And in a couple of days, it's going to be close to 0. That's a pretty good job we've done. Here it is.
And again, when you have 15 people, and the 15 within a couple of days is going to be down to close to 0, that's a pretty good job we've done.
So 15 cases, and it's going to be close to 0. Obviously, it wasn't going to be close to 0. But that was a good job. That was a great job that they would have done. Because, look, we've got this thing completely under control. And for a month, they ignored the experts. They did nothing. They did nothing to act to mitigate the spread of this virus. For a full month, they did nothing. And here we are now with the numbers that we're facing, and Donald Trump has moved the goalposts. Jared Kushner has moved the goalposts so much so that now it's 60,000 to 70,000 dead. That's a good job. Olivia Nuzzi, who's a journalist, asked a question the other day of Donald Trump at his off-again, on-again press conference that, listen, if a president sits over the deaths of 60 to 70,000 Americans, is that someone we should re-elect to the office? This was his answer.
If an American president loses more Americans over the course of 6 weeks than died in the entirety of the Vietnam War, does he deserve to be re-elected?
So, yeah, we've lost a lot of people, but if you look at what original projections were, 2.2 million, we're probably heading to 60,000, 70,000. It's far too many. One person is too many for this. And I think we've made a lot of really good decisions.
So now that's a good job. 60 to 70,000 Americans dead. Listen, here we are at the end of April, the last day of April, with over 1 million confirmed cases. And now because of testing, we really don't know how many. But we know confirmed there are about 1,050,000 cases, confirmed positive cases of coronavirus. Over 61 or so thousand dead. And I want to explain, well, first of all, when Donald Trump says that the original projections were like 2 million, and we've done this. 2 million would have been if we do nothing, that 2 million people could die. That's if we just go about our business as usual. So if the high water mark for Trump is, oh, I could have done nothing and 2 million people would have died, that's not the mark of success, to just do something. But here we are, he's proclaiming victory. This is essentially his mission accomplished moment. If you remember George W. Bush flying onto the aircraft carrier with a giant banner, mission accomplished in the war in Iraq, which ended up lasting for a decade more or so. Here we are with over 60,000 Americans dead. And I want to put this in perspective. 60,000 is like 20 9/11 attacks. 60,000 is like a 9/11 every 3 days or so for 2 months. A separate individual 9/11 type tragedy every 3 days for 60 days. That's success for Donald Trump. That's his mission accomplished. Good job, everybody. Only a 9/11 every 3 days. And the problem that we face right now, this is the reason we're in this situation, is because we've elected morons, idiots, know-nothings, do-nothings, accomplish nothings into high office. When you look at Jared Kushner, when you look at Donald Trump, when you look at Ivanka Trump or Don Jr. or Eric, any of these idiots, you're looking at someone who was born into massive wealth. Jared Kushner's father is worth about $2 billion. Jared Kushner never created anything. He never earned anything. He never accomplished anything. It was given to him. It's like waking up into a billionaire family and thinking to yourself, wow, look at all that I did here. Look at all that I created. That's what we have as President of the United States. Someone who was given wealth from the time that they were a toddler. And now he thinks he's created something. So in his mind, maybe it's the case that he believes. He's convinced himself because of his wealthy lethargy. The lethargy of a billionaire. He was given everything, so he believes in his mind that he made it happen. What spectacular luck I have. What spectacular business acumen I have that I'm a billionaire. So it shouldn't be surprising, although it blows my mind, it shouldn't be surprising that Jared Kushner goes on Fox News and talks to those dummies and says, oh, it's a great success story. That we presided over the deaths. That we've presided over 20 9/11s in 2 months. What a fabulous success story. This should enrage you. This should send you into a passionate effort this election season to get rid of Donald Trump. Because it's 61,000 dead now. 2 months in, what's it going to be in another 2 months? What's it going to be after the summer if it acts like the Spanish flu of 1918 and it comes back with a vengeance in the fall? With even greater numbers dying at even higher rates. What's it going to be like then? Hopefully, we will be able to stop that, to curb that. Hopefully, enough people will go to the polls to prevent that from happening. And then Donald Trump will be able to ride off in the sunset with the death rate climbing and climbing and saying, see, look, that's not the way it was when I was there, completely denying history, completely denying the facts that we face. And this is the result. Elections have consequences. That is said, is often said, and it is true. And here we are, and I'm not going to get into it, but the Democratic Party apparently didn't learn lessons from 2016. We had a chance here. And I know I'm defeated. I feel I'm sounding defeated. I'm sounding depressed, even. But I'm very worried about the future. I'm very worried about what we can look forward to, what our children and our grandchildren can look forward to. That we squandered our birthright as Americans. We've elevated f***ing morons to the highest levels of power and influence in our country. The job that Abraham Lincoln once held. We've elected a TV reality game show host. A failure of a human being who has never done anything in his life. He turned a giant pile of money into a slightly larger pile of money. That's not an accomplishment. Anyway, I'd like to hear from you, as always. I appreciate, look, this is oftentimes a cathartic experience. This, for me, is a therapeutic exercise. I'm lucky enough to have the platform that I have. To vent to thousands of people who are fortunate or unfortunate enough to tune in. I want to bring a positive message as often as I can. Some days it's hard. 714-576-4054. Email me, daily@dollemore.com. You can also email a voice memo to daily@dollemore.com. I appreciate you guys. I love you. Maybe I'll take the weekend and try to get my shit together. If you would like to be a channel member and help support these sometimes off the rails rants, I would appreciate that. For fewer than $2 a month, you can help support independent media just like this. And if I bring value to your day, even a little bit, $2 a month worth, that would be fantastic. But if there are other creators out there who do bring more value to you than I do, support them. Give them your $2 a month or $5 a month. It is important right now that the mainstream, your corporate media types, they do what they do, and they go a far enough distance sometimes, but you're not going to hear it like this on the CNN, even on the MSNBC. You're just not. I think that's where independent creators like myself take up some of the slack. Anyway, I love you guys. Be genuine. Keep your head up. Keep your chin up. Take care of one another.